And he was amazed at how, because he knew the man 2 years ago, but in 2 years he had went and got into this.
He surpassed him.
And got to the point where he could ask questions that you can't even answer. But he didn't ask you a question that he didn't know the answer. He asked the question to see where your head was at. And you don't have the answer.
And here it is, all you dumbass people sitting in this nigga congregation.
And I mean,
telling you, Shalom, baby, and literally telling you that this nigga don't got the answers. He said he got the answers, but I don't.
Right.
And they all still at his church, still putting money in the damn offering plate, man.
That's it.
It's prophecy, man. They got
still put money in the offering plate, showing up faithfully every Sunday.
Yeah, well, see, that's the common, the people wanting their religion in a compartment that they can control. I pick it up on Sunday, I put my Sunday best on, I go into church, I shout and holler for a couple hours, I come out, I put my religion back in the compartment, go put it back up on the shelf, and now I can be a sinner the rest of the week.
Come, I'm gonna finish reading this if y'all want me to.
What you got?
Isaiah 14, I'm gonna start back at 13. He says, "For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven."
This is this Edomite one that's ascend into heaven.
"I will exalt my throne above the stars of the power."
And this Edomite has done that, and that's why our people are so lost, because since this Edomite is in power, our people following this power, even though this power is wicked, and this power is actually on its way out. Go ahead.
"I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation."
On the top of the governments, which is what's going on right now, but they getting ready to be destroyed. Go ahead.
"In the sides of the north."
In the sides of the north, over here in the northern country, where it says that no longer will it be said, the Lord that delivered thee from Egypt, but it will be said, the Lord that delivered thee from the northern country, which is here in America. Go ahead.
"I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High."
I will be like the Most High. So now I'm going to sit up here above the clouds, because when you go into Genesis and you read it, when they talked about laying this atmosphere out, that was called a heaven. So he's going to be above the heaven. So he's above this atmosphere that's above us right now.
He says, Isaiah 14 and 15, "Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell."
So you're being brought down to hell. Why? Because this Edomite now, this is hell. Heaven and hell are conditions served out on earth. This Edomite is getting ready to be brought down into his condition of hell here on earth, because he's going to go into slavery on this planet, per the scriptures. Go ahead.
"To the sides of the pit."
To the sides of the pit. Over in Europe, that pit, this whole deal, that about to understand who Vlad Wilhelm and these type of things we talk about the pit. Go ahead.
It says, Isaiah 14 and 16, "They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee."
And all the people gonna be looking upon you saying, what?
"And consider thee, saying, is this the man?"
So it went from Luther, that whole thing went from Lucifer talking about who y'all would perceive as Satan and this, that, and the other. Now I done broke it all the way down to a man. Like I said, Job 9.
A base man.
A base man. So Job 9 and 24, the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. And now we're talking about, we done went from Lucifer to a man.
Like, it's like symbolic to, like, you ever see that movie Wizard of Oz?
Right. Want to go see the wizard.
And everybody was scared of the wizard. Like, oh, you know.
And then he was a little man behind a little curtain talking about some.
That's how Esau lives behind the curtain, controlling everything.
He says,
And you know what? And it's so crazy, because I actually heard this scripture being read out at church one time, man. My uncle had read it, but people don't pay attention to like key words, man. Like where it says, is this the man? Is it gonna say that right now, brother?
yeah, it's going into it.
Yeah, come on.
Isaiah 14 and 16, "They that see thee shall narrowly look upon you." So they gonna be squinting at your ass like,
Can't believe this shit.
nigga, what?
You don't be this motherfucker.
It was you?
Yeah.
It says in the book of Jeremiah 50, it says, "All they that walk by thee shall hiss."
Damn.
Yes. It says, "This he." You know people.
That's
He says,
Yep.
this the part where it's going to it. Is this the man? It's like, is this the man?
And they say, is this the man? Right there. Is this the man to let you know?
Who the? Him.
The so-called white man.
Yeah.
Esau Edom, man.
But it says in the book of-
Edomite.
That's right.
King David said, he said, "Bring this." He said, "Let this man that knows
Hold on,
Saul."
Popsy.
He also say Lucifer.
No.
Yes. Yeah, hold on.
He's
The word.
he's
Hold
the
on.
embodiment.
Yes. The word Lucifer only means enlightened one.
So he's
That's all
on the
it
left,
means.
he's the left hand,
That's all
he's
it
the
means.
left hand light.
He is Lucifer.
You got the Illuminati, the left hand light.
Yes, he is.
This, that, and other. Because you always had a right and a left hand side. When Moses approached Pharaoh in Egypt, okay?
Aaron was his right.
Right. But what did they do? They laid their rod down. The magicians was able to lay their rod down, so they all turned into snakes. But Moses' staff was turned into a snake, was able to eat all the other snakes. Okay? So you got a left and a right hand. But right now what you got going on is these Edomites and that left hand side magic starting to fail. So that's why they got to come out here and push more now in the public. They thing used to be behind closed doors and secrecy. Now they got to push harder into the public because they losing that left hand side magic.
That's why they giving that's why I like guys who garbage rappers like Chief Keef. No, that's why they get more $1 million deals. They like, hey, get out there and push some more of that with you. Man. Come on, man. Get out there and push some more of that.
Because they
promote that shit. They need more of that vibration out there so the people can stay asleep.
see they do it
They
better.
ain't trying to pay a nigga shit. A nigga couldn't even get $1 million contract in the NBA.
Damn.
They give a nigga a garbage rapper nowadays. He get $1 million contract to rap for nothing.
Right.
Straight from Eaglewood.
Because it's the influencer.
Look at Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj was brought in to bring on that homosexuality, that lesbian.
Nicki Minaj.
You know what?
Yeah.
All that started with Lil Kim. He really gonna be honest. But that provocative putting out them titties, dressing all that. When her first album was like
She
that.
was watered down and all that.
Yeah,
but see,
she was. They been promoting this shit, man.
It's all witchcraft.
It all was a build up to what we at now.
They push gangster rap. And motherfuckers lost their mind and started killing each other. Okay? Let's be for real. They push dope dealing and this, that, and other. And let's take this back even before that. I'm gonna take it back when I was little. Okay? When I was little, everybody wanted to be a pimp.
Pimpin' hoes.
The Mac.
The Mac. When the motherfucker dropped super fly gangsters that was pimps wanted to be dope dealers. And I know a crew, pimps that robbed a dope dealer and got in the game as dope men and wound up being some of the coldest motherfuckers on the south side of Chicago. So let's get it understood. So it showed them when they did this and how people reacted that boom tool that they had and that witchcraft that they had and that media works.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And that's when they lost their mind.
Just Baba Pusha, if I may expound, because they go off the influencer. All right, right now, the younger Jake, they're trying to influence the younger Jake. So they go with the young Jake that got the swag, the style that make the other Jakes want to follow.
But that's why in the process of, what do? Like he said, they give him $1 million contract and tell him you got to be gay feel,
Young Thug,
swagged out, faggot look, the whole deal.
You gotta push their vibration.
You gotta put that
Guess what?
vibration.
So is the king, so is the people. You got something?
Yeah, I got something.
Exactly. All that shit. All that shit. Hey, go ahead. I'm about to get back to that. Go ahead.
This is Isaiah chapter 59, verse 7. It says, their feet run to evil.
Their feet run to evil.
And they make haste to shed innocent blood. Their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity, wasting and destruction are in their paths. Now, when this scripture was being written, man, it was written about our people. When this scripture was being written, it was talking about niggas, man. That's what let you know. John 8:44 is talking about niggas and Esau. It says what? Jeremiah 4 says, "Thee have taught the wicked their wicked ways, man." You know, because Jake did it first. Hey, my dad was doing a study. He said back in
no, Jake didn't do it first. They just
perfected it.
They perfected
because that's why the scripture said you have surpassed the deeds of the wicked.
That's right.
The Lord like, damn, you done. Wait a minute, they the wicked. But these niggas that did more than
you ain't gay. You ain't gay. You flaming. You got to go out flaming. And back to what you were saying about the skinny jeans and this and another. See, as a kid,
they
you had brothers, the Temptations, James Brown, all of them had them skinny type pants on. You know, well, Rick James was on some other shit. Okay, but the Temptations and this, that, and the other, they had them suits with the slim legs and the pointed shoes and this, that, and other. But they didn't have that homosexual feel about it at the same time. I mean, because it ain't the dress, it's the motherfucker that's perpetrating it at the same time. James Brown was a motherfucker, and he was all man, but he doing his shit and was a sex symbol. Bitches wanted him, and no man was thinking about him on that. You know, like James Brown could dance his ass off. But now Rick James was a whole different story.
We dress up like a fucking damn near fucking tree.
Well, that's what I said.
Earth, Wind, and Fire. That shit they had on when they had the shiny ass bell bottoms on.
Exactly. That's what I said. But by the time you got into them and that slide, they were sliding into a different era.
Like I said, like I was gonna go into what you said, that Studio 54, that club, that was promotion of all that gay shit. That was like way before they wanted to put it to the forefront. That's why I said the next verse, it says the way of peace they know not. There is no judgment in their doings.
They said the way of peace they don't know not, man. They said to do good they know not.
Yep.
They don't know. They don't have no discernment. They go follow whatever's being pushed. And since they pushing this homosexuality, our people are running after it. Yep. Hook, line, and sinker.
Like you said,
okay.
You said they follow the height of Greek fashion.
Right.
That's the same thing with our people, man. They follow the height of Greek fashion. Everybody want to be a fucking Alpha or a Delta. Follow them goddamn fraternities, man. Anything Esau push that's hot, our people would just flock after, man. Because they know not judgment, man. A wicked man understand of not judgment.
You see old motherfuckers my age and older that might have played something when they was in college, and they still walking around with their jacket, shirt, and hat. Like, the license plate on the front of the car. You were 17 years old when they bamboozled your ass. You ain't woke up yet.
Yeah, look. Even people that were gangbangers. Like, you got people that's 50 years old still hollering on the G, on the 5, Vice Lord. You 50 years old, your kid's 22. Folk in them. You still a street nigga at 50?
Right, exactly.
I said folk in them.
You're in there.
Still
Right,
sagging.
and the reason they was able to push that agenda is because Jake make it look cool.
Yeah.
See, they have Jake do it because what? Jake is the influencer of the world. So when Jake do it, it's like, damn, that's they wrong. And then Jake so swag, it may be some gay shit, but Jake do it so swagged out, niggas be questioning like, damn, that. Like even when Biggie said, he said, what he said, you said, you so fine, I'll suck your daddy dick.
That's the game.
Niggas back in the 80s and the 90s, niggas was real killers, bro.
I don't know if niggas would did that though.
But think about it, like niggas, it's just not coming up to surface now.
We got the point though.
But you're right though, 'cause I was in college, man. When I went to college in Lafayette, I had a white techer, man. He was conveying to us what it used to be like. He said, "Yeah, man, I used to be a complete crazy ass motherfucker. I was a teenager. He said I was a teenager when Boys in the Hood came out. He said when I was a teenager, I wanted to wear my hat backwards and rep gang and folks, and I was a white boy in the suburbs.
Yeah.
He said he wanted to live that life of a gangster. He hated his parents for being raised right. He said I wanted to be raised in the hood, fucking bitches, and being a gangster. He said, but I was. Hey, this is a white teacher. I think he was bugged out. I think he was a J. But he said that what the brother was saying. He said, man, Esau make it so enticing that even Edomites want to be repping gang sex and gang sets and selling drugs and shit. He's living good life.
Edomites that had control over that knew that, like you said, we had the influence. And here's what it is. That comedian George Carlin, I'm gonna tell you this, I remember this like it was yesterday. He told a story, and here's how he said it. He said, who wouldn't want to be, and I'm gonna use the word, a black man in America? He said, let me tell you something. If you did what you did to people for over 400 years and they didn't raise up, they gotta be some of the coolest motherfuckers on the planet. Okay? Because any other race you did that to, they'd have lost their mind.
I'm gonna finish this off.
Hey, guess what? And Baba Kusha.
Go ahead.
Because guess what, Pops? It's beautiful what you just said. Now we know that, right? We had to wait for the Lord. The scripture said, who gave, matter of fact, let's get that. Get Isaiah
Get the scriptures now. Stop
42,
banging all this up.
where it said, who gave Israel as a spoil?
Can I pull this out, Baba Kushan? It's
Real quick, Baba.
Hey, in Leviticus it says, I shall make thee as a shaken leaf.
Let's get the scriptures. Let's get the scriptures. Let's not go through the scriptures.
Go ahead, what you saying?
I was finna say.
Go ahead. Swing the scriptures.
Now he looking for it, Pops. He got it.
I was finna say what the brother said. The Lord said, Israel, I shall make thee a shaken leaf. Because in my